they go in the hole. So what they do is they send you a bill for the excess.
First of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming out. We're going to be here longer. Nobody has to leave. Eat all you want, drink all you want. It means a lot that you would show up on a Wednesday evening on behalf of this campaign. I do want to make sure everyone recognizes we have one of our city council, Ramon Alvarez, right over here. Thank you, Ramon, for being here. Ramon's he's a mover and a shaker. He's got a harder job than I do right now, I promise you. Also, Oliver Mentz on KISD School Board is here too. Of course, my wife Susan, who puts up with this and really allows me to do what we need to do when you serve in office, when you're trying to do a good job and you're out and about. I think what you really, when you look to the future, what you want to do is you want to try to build a better Texas for the next generation than what you have for yourself. Susan and I have been really blessed. We've been blessed to grow up. We met here in high school, C.E. Ellison High School, class 85. Phyllis Wheeler's senior English class, where we'll celebrate our 40th high school reunion next year. 40 years, wow. Yeah. But, this community is really, from our business life and Susan's work with the school district, it has been so good to us. And so, what I try to do is think about and look at things through the eyes of my two grandsons. What will Texas look like for those two young men 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now? And will they have the opportunity that we have had? We're a state that is rapidly growing. We're the 8th largest economy, closing in on number 7. We're about to overtake France. That's what Governor Abbott said. Overtaking France is a big deal. But it's a big deal, and what it means is that 1,400 people call Texas home, or new folks call it home every day through birth and moving here, and that's a big deal. But that means we have to have economic opportunity for all those folks and all the little ones that come along with having that type of growth. So I am absolutely committed to making sure that's what we have. That we have a great educated workforce. I'm really interested in early childhood learning. My mother was an early childhood educator for 38 years. I want to make sure that we start in the very beginning. 50% of our kindergartners show up to school behind. 50%. And then we ask our teachers to catch those up and then bring everybody else along. And that's where we're struggling. So through our hearings this summer, through our legislative agenda for next session, God willing, we'll make new investments in early childhood learning. We'll leverage every asset. We had everyone from Head Start to nonprofits, to our public school folks, to our pre-K partnerships that are around our state at our hearing, talking about what we can do to make sure that our little Texans are learning. Because if they read on grade level by the 3rd grade, their likelihood of a successful outcome in school, their earning power, their relationships, the percentage of incarceration, it literally plummets if you're reading on grade level by the 3rd grade. It is that important. So I can't wait to focus on those areas. I know my mom would be proud of me to be working on those ideas and that. But we also must have a safe community. And it's one of the things that we owe to our citizens. We owe those little Texans to be able to grow up in an environment where they feel safe. And so we'll continue to work on those areas, and whether it be in our border security, that is so important for Texans in general, because of the drug, the human trafficking, the suffering that we see that occurs at a chaotic border. I visited the border 4 times, and it's hard to explain the level of suffering that we see there. The chaos breeds international criminal activity, basically from the cartels, because they like chaos. And so we'll continue to make sure that we invest on the border to make sure that we have the security that we need. The other thing I think that we're going to have to look at in our state is our grid. We talk about 1,400 people moving here every day, or being born here, 1,400 new Texans every day. Our grid, we need to improve it. We know that dispatchable energy, that means coal or natural gas powered plants, that is what's reliable. Our renewable energy has, because of federal subsidy, has really taken over. And on a day like today, where the sun shines and the wind blows, we're golden. But when the sun doesn't shine and the wind doesn't blow, we tend to fall back onto what's called dispatchable energy, which in Texas primarily is coal and natural gas. Thank you for those that supported the constitutional amendment for our Texas Energy Fund that will fund new dispatchable energy plants in Texas. It will take time for that to happen. But we're going to have to make certain that we continue to make those investments, and we will. Because we can't have the Texas miracle without the power and the energy to do so. The other thing that we must protect is the energy sector, oil and gas in Texas. We can have a Green New Deal, but in Texas, if the deal is too green, there is no green. Your higher education institutions from Texas A&M Central Texas to all the others across the state to our public schools depend on a robust energy economy. That is literally where so many of the billions of dollars come from. And we have to make sure that we have an energy sector that thrives. And I will tell you, they do it responsibly. They do it in a manner that protects the environment. But we know that we cannot force people to buy things they do not want to buy. The market will take care of that. When everyone is ready for electric vehicles, then people will purchase electric vehicles, and you see a lot of them. But you cannot force people to invest in something that they're not ready for. And so I believe that we must protect that sector and make sure we have a strong energy economy in Texas. And finally, this community, one of the most important things that we have to do is take care of our veterans. You know, today at the ribbon cutting at Fort Cavazos of the National Mounted Warrior Museum, you saw a 10-year plus project come to fruition. You really saw something that is so quintessential Killeen. It was private citizens, veterans, industry, philanthropy come together, work on a project for 10 years, then locate it on Fort Cavazos and give it to Fort Cavazos, which now operates it. I can't think of anything that represents kind of what we do in this community any better than that. Amen. And so you're going to have this opportunity to really honor those that served in so many dangerous places, and really celebrate and learn. And really, you know, the museum is not only a celebration of what they did, it's also somber. A lot of kids died. And that should never be lost on us. But what an incredible asset that we have in our community. And I know it's free to the public. The next phase will be classrooms so that we can have real civics lessons, you know, that are taught. And can you imagine that environment, young people in that environment, seeing that service and sacrifice, and then bringing those lessons to them? And I'm excited to see that, you know, move forward, and really want to congratulate everyone that has such a part in that. And then, you know, taking care of our veterans. This last session, I passed the first ever high-quality service dog program for veterans. My favorite bill ever. It combined something important to my community and dogs. That's what that's what I do every day. If you get too close to me, you will say, "Yes, you did." That's all right. Hockey the Labrador, my last patient of the day, well, let's just say didn't smell so good and rubbed it all over me. That's okay. But this service dog program really connects veterans to high-quality service dogs that are trained to meet the needs of veterans with PTS, with traumatic brain injury, and those that suffer from military sexual trauma. But it not only does that, it requires that the veteran also be connected to a mental health professional, where we will actually study over 4 years the amount of psychotropic medication that a veteran has to take as they battle these challenges. Can the service dog be part of that? Can other substances be part of that? Dave Bass is here. Dave is a good friend. He's a retired Army officer. He's a former school teacher. He's an advocate for veterans and for those veterans that are dealing with mental health issues. And so what I'm trying to do is put together pieces of programs that will serve those needs, because we had 23 years, I guess, of war. Something I cannot imagine. I know many in this room can. You've done it. And so the least I can do is to make sure that our veterans have those resources so that they can come back and live that next great chapter of their life, like so many do here. There's so many folks that had a career and then the next career. And we want them to be healthy, and we want them to thrive in a great economy. And then finally, I think one of the greatest assets we have is our university, Texas A&M Central Texas. So proud to bring nearly $50 million in tuition revenue bonds to build the least the least exciting building, the physical plant. You think about, man, I want to do a library, you want to do like a science building, but the physical plant is the next step to make certain that we can grow. When you have a facility like that, you have to have the infrastructure to build that next phase. They're talking dormitories, they're talking research park. So that was, I really am proud of that endeavor. It's under construction right now. It's called the core facility. I can't remember what the acronym stands for. It's the physical plant. And, it will also house their security team on campus. But that university continues to serve this population. 78% of the graduates were considered to be at risk. There were probably those that without that opportunity may not have achieved higher education. Graduates from as young as 16 to 70-something years old. I mean, it really is a place for everyone. And my goal there is always to take that story. It's the only public standalone upper-level university in the state of Texas now. It's a little bit of a one-off, but we have the relationships in Austin where the appropriators understand. We have filled and increased the funding they received that they lost in 2017. Since 2019, funding has been restored. Proud to work on that. The number of students has increased, enrollment is up, and the best thing they're doing is providing opportunity. And so when you look at the degree plans, the transfer portal, now young people can begin to plan. In their first 2 years of college, they can use the transfer portal to make sure they're not taking needless courses, spending money on tuition that they don't need. So what you have is you're connecting folks in junior college or community college with our university so that they are actually planning their 4-year degree through this transfer portal. We also have incredible programs that the university is often offering in Williamson County. So this university is much bigger than just our region. And it's really, really a great honor to work on those issues. Those are the issues that hit home. We talk about the big issues that make the Texas Tribune and the newspaper. 95% of everything we do in the Texas House is bipartisan. It's the kind of work you want all government to do. You want people from all different walks of life to stand together. You presented a problem, solve it, and move on to the next. And that's the type of environment that I want to work in, and that I will always try to demonstrate that ability to do. So, thank you all for being here tonight on a Wednesday at the Brick and Barrel, and let's give the Brick and Barrel a big round of applause. What a beautiful facility. Let's congratulate the city of Killeen on a renaissance of downtown. It's been talked about a long time, but it's here. Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez just walked in a minute ago. I want to recognize you. Thank you for being here. And so it's, you know, good things are happening here. Let's keep it going for ourselves and our children and our grandkids. And as always, if I can do anything for you, you know where to find me. I'll be in Austin, or I'll be at Killeen Veterinary Clinic. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. God bless you.